Hello and welcome back to the course on Power BI. Today we're going to learn how to connect to a CSV file and load our dataset into Power BI. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to launch Power BI here. I give it a few seconds. And what we can see here is this, first of all, this screen pops up. So we can see Power BI in the background, but in front, we can see this screen. And here it's prompting us to sign in to get the most out of Power BI. And we'll learn how to do this a bit later, further down in the course. For now, we're going to keep things simple, and we're just going to close this window so we can proceed to Power BI. All right, so I'm going to make this full screen. And in order to load a data set, now I know this might seem a bit overwhelming at first, all these controls, but we'll definitely walk through them. And as you go through this course, they'll become very intuitive. But for now, we're just going to use this button over here, Get Data. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's go ahead and click that. And here we will select CSV. So just double click CSV. That's the file we're loading. So now just go ahead and navigate to the folder where you've saved the file. Mine's in section 2. And there it is. So just select the file and click Open. So what we see here is a preview of our data set. Now, even though it says based on first 200 rows, it's actually not 200, as you can see here. And we're going to just click refresh. And if your dataset has less than 200 rows, it'll just show all of them. And that's our case. Otherwise, it'll show the first 200. Also, from a dropdown, you can select the entire dataset if you like. And the point of this preview is just to give you a quick glance at what the columns look like and how the data is going to be loaded. So you can confirm that you are comfortable with it and just click load. But we're not going to click load for now. We're going to click edit so we can see in a bit more detail what exactly is being loaded. So just go ahead and click edit. You'll see this window pop up. And yes, it's another window and a lot more controls. But again, they're not that complicated, and we will go over them throughout this course. The main thing we're going to look at now is how is the data recognized by Microsoft Power BI. So here we've got order date, and we know that this should be a date. The question is Power BI recognizing it as a date? And you can tell by this icon over here on the top that it is being recognized as a date because it looks like a calendar. So it's this icon here. Then you've got this region column, and it's being recognized as a text column, ABC. This one is text, this one is text, this one is units, and here you can see a decimal number. This one's actually whole number, and here you can see decimal number. So it's been recognized correctly. If you want to change something, then you can just go and, for instance, if you want this to be recognized as decimal number, click decimal number. Now it's been changed. Or you can change it up over here. You can change it to whole number as it was at the beginning. So once you've done that, just click close and apply once you're happy with all of that. And then the data set is going to be loaded into Power BI. And you can find it here on the right. So there's your data set. There's item, order date, region, rep, unit price, and units. And also here you can see these sums. We'll talk about them further down, but basically they're indicating that there's some sort of aggregation that's going to be applied to these columns, and that's because these are numeric columns. And now if you ever want to go back into that menu and fix up how the data is being recognized, you can click on the left here. You'll see there's 3 tabs. So this is your report or the actual visualization that we'll be creating. You've got the data tab, and you've got the connect relationship. So in relationship, we only have one data set, and we'll talk about this further down in the course. But if you want to go back to the data setup, then you just click this data tab over here. And here again, you can change these things up. So this window looks similar to what we saw before, but not exactly the same. If you ever want to make any adjustments to your columns here, all you have to do is just click modeling up at the top, and you can just select the data type over here. So text, you can change it, or again, decimal number, you can change it if you want, and you can make those same changes that we talked about. And once you're done, once you've made your changes, then you can just go back to your report over here. And now before we finish this tutorial, I just wanted to show you what other data sources Power BI can connect to. So if you click Get get data again, you can see that here there's actually a lot of different data sources. So not only can you connect to Excel and CSV, and those are the files we'll be working with in this course, but you can also connect to XML, text, JSON files, folders, then SQL Server databases, Access databases, Oracle databases. You've got all these other types of databases, Teradata, Microsoft Azure. You can even connect to a web page. Yes, you can connect Power BI to a web page and get the information that's put in a table on the web page. It's a very powerful feature. So as you can see, they've got a lot of, you've got R script here as well. You've got a lot of different data sources, and as you can see, there's also quite a lot of beta data source connections here. So you've got MailChimp, GitHub, and so on. So they're still kind of like in testing mode, but that just shows that they're constantly expanding the number of data sources that you can connect to, and that's also always a great thing. That means this tool is going to grow and get updated all the time. So hopefully you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy analyzing.